We're us, not them, followed by an E and preceded by an M, and there isn't any B, and we're putting on a show hardly anyone will see, because it's okay, because we're us, not them.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'd like to introduce our guest, Gaylord Hassel. He is a member of a non-disclosed militia group. He claims he is a soldier of freedom for the Americans held hostage by the Clinton administration. He is employed as a donut chef and part owner of a military surplus store. Mr. Hassel, maybe you can shed some light on what the angry white man is all about.
Well, the angry white man in this country, it's like P.T. Barnum said, sucker born every minute. Well, there's an angry white man born every second in this country. We've been talked to, preached at, shuffled around, put to the back of the bus, and it's over. And we're getting ready. The revolution's coming. Everybody can see it. They saw it in Oklahoma City. You hear it on the radio every day. So it's time to shut the borders, get the women back in the kitchen, and heat up the electric chair.
Mr. Hassel, do you espouse the violence in Oklahoma City?
No, I guess I don't, but no, I don't.
You don't. So your revolution is hopefully going to be nonviolent.
Well, we can't say for certain that it's going to be nonviolent. I hope that it's not, that I don't have to turn on my fellow man. But if you don't think that Washington has lost touch with the average working man out here, and we want to give a criminal a better chance than me, then we will turn off our television sets and go to war. Well, unless there's something good on, you know.
Well, Mr. Hassel, I'm curious to know why you feel that you can make better rules, or your group can make better rules or better laws than the laws that our government currently has made.
Oh, well, the way I look at it, it's common sense. Now, which would you rather be afraid of? United States government, 10,000 Marines, or 30,000 drunks in the woods with guns?
Well,
Now, we've got weapons, but we put away our 3 Bs. Now, for some of you brothers that know what I'm talking about, the 3 Bs is your beans, your boots, and your bullets. And we do have barrels of weapons buried in the woods to call upon them when we need them. Well, forgot where I buried them, but, you know.
Okay, so what you're saying is there's a possibility that this revolution could turn violent, but what you really want to do is completely overthrow the government, have a different kind of government altogether, and if so, what is that government going to be, and why will it be better?
It's going to be a government of men back in power. Now, he pushed man out of the workforce. Now, an honest working man can't get a job because there's a woman or a minority in there. There's 3 kinds of boxes in this country. We talked about the B's. Now let's talk about the boxes. Number 1 is the ballot box. Now, when that don't work, you go to the soap box. Now, that's where I'm at now. And if that don't work, well, I forget what the last one is, but, you know, probably pretty good, you know.
Well, I guess in your position, the soapbox is the place that you need to be, but I still wonder, I mean, obviously you feel that there are misinterpretations of the Constitution, and I'm curious to know, there again, why you feel that you are better able to interpret the Constitution, and I would like to know where you find in the Constitution that women are not supposed to participate in the government of this country.
Well, did you see a woman's signature on the Constitution yourself? No, you didn't. No, I'm afraid you didn't. So there.
I didn't. You're right about that. But it was a different world then.
Well, it's going to be a different world again, my friend. So you can just get ready for the revolution. Right on with the Revolutionary Brothers!
Mr. Hassel, what is that you have in your lap? This
is a GZ-47 assault rifle, sniper weapon. It's got a 1.317 bore on it. It's one of the best made. Got it at a flea market off Alcoa Highway $4,000. It's got a maximum effective range of 1,167 meters, and it'll get the job done.
Is it legal to purchase that type of weapon at a flea market?
Well, it used to be. Before that damn a ban on assault weapons, that Bill Clinton.
Mr. Hassel, don't you mean George Bush?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Well, this seems
whatever.
to me to be a perfect example of misinformation and disinformation that some people, and I'm not saying you, some people in your type of organizations are spreading and using to inflame people's emotions and to cause people to hate and that kind of thing. I mean, it's like talk radio and Rush Limbaugh and all of those things. It all
Now, now, what's this? Rush Limbaugh is not inflaming anybody. If the comparison that you could make with Rush Limbaugh and Adolf Hitler is Adolf Hitler bitched. Now, Rush Limbaugh, well, he whines, but you know. And this comparison, trying to associate Rush Limbaugh with the Oklahoma bombing, Rush Limbaugh and Timothy McVeigh, the only thing they've got in common is, well, 2 tons of fertilizer. Pretty good joke though. yeah, but.
So I take it that you basically feel Rush Limbaugh is doing a service to the American people by calling attention to all these supposed problems that we have.
You're darn right. Rush Limbaugh is a great leader, and he has brought attention to the real problem in this country, and that's the poor people. They need to either get out or get rich.
Well, I'm sure they'd all like to get rich, but that's an awfully unsympathetic attitude toward people who probably can't get rich.
Well, this is America. You can do anything you want to, including what I'm doing right here tonight.
Well, does that also mean that you can be poor?
Well, being poor is a shame in this country.
It is a shame.
Just think about that for a while. All right then, Missy. What do you get when you cross a cheater and a loser?
Well, I don't know.
Chelsea.
Mr. Hassel, I think your jokes are a little inappropriate considering the subject matter. Let's get back to
Chelsea.
your calls here. I don't think a teenage girl has anything to do with any of this right now.
Well, yeah, it's no laughing matter.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. I know that your groups have some serious constitutional questions. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
I can tell you everything about the Constitution. I keep a copy in my back pocket. Got one right there, right back here now.
I see.
But, back there. But you talk about the separation of church and state. Everybody wants to harp on the separation of church and state. Well, it says separation of church and state, plain English. It doesn't say separation of church and federal government. It doesn't say separation of church and the 50 states. The power is supposed to go back to the state, you see.
Well, that's a lot of the issue actually in the Civil War, and I find it rather interesting that after all this time in the vilification of the causes espoused by the people who fought in the Civil War, that we're actually going back to church and state. But how do you think that this can be accomplished?
Well, you see this, don't you?
Yes.
You see this? That's how it can be accomplished right there. If that's what it takes, then that's what we're going to use.
I don't really believe that violence is a solution for anything in this country. I believe that common sense is an issue in this country, and I believe that you mentioned to me in our pre-interview conversation that you believed some common sense needed to be interjected into all of these issues.
Oh, yeah. Common sense would be a real good thing to have in this country, but we don't have any. But we have plenty of violence. We got Arnold Schwarzenegger and Demolition Man. Now, these people with the right theories, the right idea, to get out there and really just put the blow to it.
Well, you believe this is the right idea?
Works for me.
Oh, it does. Okay. Well, then tell me this. On the issue of school prayer, people seem to feel that because of the issue of separation of church and state, that prayer is not allowed in schools, but that is not stated anywhere in the Constitution. All it says is separation of church and state and the fact that the government cannot respect the establishment of a religion. So it seems to me like anybody can pray in any type of religion anywhere they want to. So why is this such a problem?
Freedom of religion. It says it right there in the Constitution. It doesn't cost you a thing. But you better be with the right one, or you just better pack your gear and get gone.
I see. Well, Mr. Hassel, this has been a very enlightening and very interesting interview. I thank you very much for coming to see us tonight, and I hope that we will be able to continue our relationship as issues progress in this country. And ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed the show very much. Do you have any final words that you'd like to say, Mr. Hassel?
Well,
I believe that...
thank you for having me. And
Actually, I have a final word I'd like to say. I wasn't going to say this, but... You know, your face is covered up. You wanted to protect your identity here, and I think the only reason somebody would want to do that is that they're ashamed of what they stand for. So what do you have to say about that?
Shame? What do you mean shame? By God, I'll show you some damn shame. Look, there's your damn shame right there. Limbaugh, ready, 96. Remember the ticket? Damn ATF after me, my God. Hey, that's you, federal government.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night.